What's up? So, I have been working super hard lately and I just want to take the weekend to make a video and draw a map for fun. So first things first, I completely rearranged my office. I wanted to get it set up so it was better for filming these videos. Please be patient with me while I figure out how to get the lighting and the audio and everything looking and sounding as good as it can. I really want to take advantage of this cool space I have and make videos teaching you how to draw awesome stuff. Speaking of drawing awesome stuff, I have been working very hard on multiple projects that I wish I could tell you about. Hopefully you'll get to see some of the stuff I've been working on early next year. So yeah, that's why in this video I wanted to take a break from working on the computer, draw something just for fun. Next weekend my D&D game is having another session and my players have just encountered a small group of thieves, so I thought it'd be fun to draw a map of their thieves' hideout. So before I start drawing, I have to think about what sort of rooms are in a thieves' hideout. Alright, so what does a good thieves' hideout need? Number one, it has to have a secret location, like an underground cave. Number two, it needs places to sleep and do your business. Number three, it needs a good place to keep your treasure. Number four, it needs a good portal to another dimension. Not every thieves' hideout needs it, but the one in my game does. And number five, it's gotta have multiple entrances and exits. Alright. Okay, so this isn't going to be a huge map, but I do want to show you the tools I'm using to draw this. So, first of all, I have just a mechanical pencil and an eraser to do the initial sketch. I'm going to do that sketch on a sheet of graph paper. I'm going to be tracing it onto a piece of this Canson marker paper. This paper is nice and smooth, it feels good to draw on, and it's super thin, so I'll be able to see the pencils and the grid lines underneath without a light box or anything like that. I'll be inking the drawing with a few different pens of just varying thickness. I have a Faber-Castell and a Sakura Micron pens. They're basically the same thing. They're just disposable technical pens. And I'll also be using this Papermate Flare medium to do the texturing of the map. All right, enough jibber jabber. Let's get into drawing this map. So I went ahead and sketched out how this map is gonna look, figured out all the room placement and penciled in all the little details on the grid paper. Now I'm just gonna tape the sketch underneath the marker paper and I'm gonna use my technical pens to start inking. So I like to start with the outlines first. I kind of like to work big to small. So the outlines of the map are going to be the thickest line weight. So I'm using this Faber-Castell Pit Artist Pen size medium. And I'm actually going to go over it and make it even thicker. And then I'm just going to sort of work my way down in detail. So kind of fill out the rooms with the size F or fine pen. And then go down to the smaller microns. I think I'm using like an 03 for all the little details like the final grid lines that you'll see at the end. So yeah, this thieves' hideout, I figured these rogue, thief, ruffian type dudes stumbled upon a cavern underneath this town. I'll have a link popping up to the video where I illustrated this town and talked all about the story of the town. I haven't named it yet still, even though I got a ton of great suggestions from everybody. I still haven't named it, but now that this dragon that used to be the protector of the town has gone missing, these thieves have kind of come in and started taking over the place. They found this cavern underneath the town and they've built out just a modest little hideout. The main thing I think any good thieves hideout has is multiple entrances and exits. You know, if they have to cut their losses and make a break for it, they need to have multiple ways of getting out of this cave. You know, I think the main entrance is this ladder up at the top that is a trapdoor storeroom of one of the shops in town, and it has a secret door that leads into the cavern. They can also get out by climbing up out of the town's well, or there is a secret passage to the southeast that leads out to the river that runs through the town as well. So there's lots of secret doors, and there are traps, which I'm not drawing on the map, but they're there, so be careful if you're snooping around the thieves' hideout. So yeah, the other thing is I'm still really trying to figure out how I like to draw these kind of dungeon type maps. I feel like I've gotten a much better handle of the sort of overworld, like world map or area map, but these more practical dungeon grid maps, I don't quite think I've figured out my style yet. They don't quite look cartoony and fun enough for me. Speaking of an awesome art style, I want to take a quick break from the drawing to show you this book. I think if you're watching these videos, you're interested in Dungeons and Dragons and drawing stuff for your tabletop role-playing game, do yourself a favor and just get this book. So this is Neverland. It was written and illustrated by Andrew Kolb. So he's a dude that I have been following for a very long time. I love his artwork. And he has adapted Peter Pan's Neverland into a 5e compatible role-playing setting. And this book is stinking gorgeous. Hardback, fully illustrated, like beautifully designed. On top of that, it's super well laid out and very clear. I've read through the whole book already, but just flipping through it when I first got it, I knew right away that I would be able to run a campaign set in Neverland super easy. And he's done an amazing job of converting this world into something that would be fun to play in as a tabletop role-playing game. So I don't want to give too much away, but for example, you know, the crocodile in Peter Pan is just a normal large crocodile that kind of haunts Captain Hook and the pirates. But in this setting, the crocodile is a giant monster that is actually a dungeon as well. And the illustrations are so cool. Andrew has absolutely figured out his style of artwork, and the book is filled to the brim with amazing illustrations and super cool stylized maps that are both practical and look awesome and fit in with the whole design of everything. I just love it so much. I'm gonna leave a link down in the description where you can see more about the book. Highly recommend it. Back to drawing this thieves' hideout. Alright, so as I'm drawing this map, you know, it's not perfect. There is a quality that I really love to the completely hand-drawn, no computer stuff. I'm obviously much more comfortable on the computer, being able to erase and undo and redraw super easily. But I want to say, like in all my videos, that drawing these kind of maps is actually really easy. So if you just do a little bit of planning up front, figure out your rooms, use the pencil to sketch things out. You know, working on grid paper really makes drawing these square rooms and even circular rooms and, you know, more weirdly shaped caves and stuff super easy. You know, I've added a little bit of perspective to the map, this sort of semi-isometric perspective, like I've drawn the back walls in the rooms, but you don't have to do that. You can keep it super flat, just draw squares and rectangles and circles and connect them together with hallways. Make the outlines of the rooms thicker and then the details within the rooms smaller. And you don't have to go crazy with complicated shapes. You know, I'm drawing really simple little barrels and boxes and chairs and tables and stuff. Nothing too crazy. So yeah, I just want to encourage you to give drawing a map a chance. It's super fun, it's very relaxing. And getting into this final step of doing this sort of old school texture is like total zen mode. A great way to zone out, listen to some music, and just kind of get some practice drawing, you know what I mean? The last thing I'm doing, just real quick, is using a light gray Copic marker. I'm adding just a tiny little bit of gray to sort of just add a little bit extra detail and just make the depth of these rooms a little more clear, because I think this sort of fake isometric look is visually just a little confusing. So by adding the gray to these back walls and making a few shadows here and there, it's gonna make stuff pop just a little bit. But yeah, that's it. Thieves' Hideout map is done.